Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about something important happening in American politics. And that is, some people think that since Trump is evil and bad, then we should not criticize the other side, the Democratic side. For example, and I want to criticize Representative Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. And since I have a Middle Eastern background and I speak Arabic fluently, I know what's wrong with the picture here, what's going on in American politics. I think that Trump, the racist, and his fellow racists benefit from these two ladies, from Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. I don't know why both of them only criticize Israel and attack Israel, but they never or rarely talk about Islamic countries or Arab countries where you see dictators and tyrants and terrorists killing people everywhere. For example, Rashida Tlaib, which has Palestinian origin, and nothing wrong with that, of course, because every American is somehow an immigrant in the end. So somehow we have some roots that end somewhere. So nothing wrong with that. But when you let these roots affect your political opinions, and you should remember as a representative that you are not representing your original country here. You represent the American people here. What we need here in America, what are our interests as American people, our country, what does America need? So if somebody tells you that, Israel does wrong, and that Israel is racist, and that Israel is doing just what the Nazis did to the Palestinians today, just what the Nazis did to the Jews, of course, back then, that's too much, or even an exaggeration, because as human beings, of course, Israelis make mistakes. They make wrong decisions. They sometimes even can be racist, like every culture that has a racism and racist problem. But what I see is that Rashida talks about Israel as if the Middle East and North Africa is an oasis of democracy and freedom and human rights, which is not true, simply not true. The Middle East, if we go from North Africa all the way to Afghanistan and the whole Islamic world, it's a hell for human rights. There in that area, you will find dictators, tyrants, terrorists doing abuses of human rights. So such behavior is not acceptable by any standard. And Rashida should be just with that. I mean, if we compare Israel's policies with what their neighbors doing, Israel will be it is an oasis of democracy, because Israel is the only country that put a president in jail, the only country in the Middle East that could put a prime minister in the jail, the only country where Arabs have more rights than all the Arab countries and Islamic countries. Imagine if Rashida was a politician in the Palestinian region in the West Bank, which is near Israel. Imagine if she was there and she started criticizing the Palestinian president, Abu Mazen Abbas, or she was in Gaza and she started criticizing Hamas, the movement of Hamas. Do you think they will just let her live and will just respect her freedom of speech? Of course, no. They will certainly attack her either or finish her off and do something about it, because such culture lives in a great deal of dictatorship. I am from the Middle East and I know how things work there. For example, the Palestinian territories has the highest rate of honor killings and violence against women, for example. Even recently, a man killed his own sister with all the barbarity available, just because she went out with her fiance. Yeah, like the guy was her fiance, and yet he decided to kill her in a horrendous way. I mean, that's the ugliest thing can be. Somebody kills his own sister just for being herself and free. So Rashida Tlaib should talk about these issues. If you want the Palestinian people to get their own rights and be respected as human beings, you should go there and teach the world about how the Palestinian people are suffering from their own dictators and terrorists. The Palestinian people suffer from their own culture, which is a culture very backward and belongs to the ages of barbarity, or just like Europe in the Dark Ages. So if you go study at any school, like the European history of medieval ages, you will find the same barbarity of something that is happening there right now. So Trump, the racist, he benefits from this hypocrisy. He benefits from Ilhan Omar and from Rashida, because if they are hypocrite and they don't talk about the terrorists and the tyrants in the Middle East, of course Donald Trump, the Nazi figure here, he benefits from that, and he will tell people, you see, they are hypocrite. They don't talk about those guys. They only talk about Israel. So he benefits from this. So in order for us to stop the racist Trump and his KKK group and the white nationalist movements who promote violence, we should stop all kind of hates. It's not just about Israel. So Israel sometimes might do wrong things, but we should also remember that Israel has done nothing if we compare it to the Arab countries around it in the region. For example, torture is very common in all the neighboring countries around Israel. In Egypt, in Jordan, Syria is, of course, like a haven for that. Iraq is also now in chaos, and governmental militias are killing people. Saudi Arabia cut heads without any, nobody talks about it. Like Trump, see, like he claims every day that he loves Saudi Arabia and he's okay with it. So those guys are hypocrites on both sides. There are hypocrites on the Democratic side as there are hypocrites on the Republican side. But I would say here that Christians are following the steps of Muslims. In the Islamic world, all these countries are collapsing and going down for one reason, and that is because they mix religion with politics. And Republicans are doing just that now. They are supporting putting more religion in politics, which is not good, of course. So I ask you, Ms. Tlaib and Ms. Omar, I hope you guys, you both, be more open and criticize the Arab tyrants more openly, and to show people that you are just, and just close the door in Trump's face, because he is a tyrant who wants to benefit from this hypocrisy. Hope to see you next time, and please support our channel and visit our podcast on anchor.fm. See you next time. Thank you.